you're a school principal. You were playing a game of rugby. This is my memory from a year ago. I remember stories. And you got tackled hard from the side, on the left side. And you got taken down and you really hurt your back. And then subsequently you got yourself into a real pickle where you'd done heaps of core stability work. Yeah, you're doing lots and lots of it, and you were trying really hard and you were not getting better.
That's right, yeah.
So what does it feel like in your back?
It feels like some pinching, or else it'll feel really stiff, or else it'll feel like more of a stabbing pain, so I'll sometimes find myself kneading it.
Yeah.
It's just wearing.
It's exhausting.
As the day goes on, it gets worse.
So are you active?
Well, it's hard to, I mean, I'll go around and I'll go in the classrooms, I'll walk around the school, and I make a conscious effort to get out.
Are you better doing that than sitting?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
I mean, I walk the dog when I feel bad because I think, well, that'll get me active.
Are you trying to hold your tummy in when you do that though?
When I walk the dog, I do 100 yards and then I'll get my core, my muscles in, and I do 100 yards like that, and then...
Yeah, okay. Which is better, not or doing it?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
No.
Yeah. Okay. And this is now like 3 or 4 months on, isn't it? 4 months on, nearly 3.5 months. So what's happening in your head?
Well, there's always a short answer to that kind of question in my head, but it's... well, I'm quite depressed about it.
Yeah, actually. It's getting you down.
Yeah.
Badly?
Yeah, very bad.
Yeah. In what sense? You don't have to go into details, right? Just like
well, at the risk of sounding like really sort of narcissistic, I used to be really fit and really strong, and I used to do lots of running and weights, and I used to be hill climbing.
When was this?
4 months ago.
Yeah, okay. So like really recently you were really active, and now you're very sedentary.
I just feel like, and I know I said this would be melodramatic, I just feel like I'm...
No, it's fine. That's why you're here. We want to hear your story.
I just feel I'm broken, I feel I'm weak, I mean my hair's grey, my skin's grey, I'm just...
Did that all happen?
Yeah.
In the last 4 months?
No, sadly it didn't. But,
but that's how you feel? You feel like you've aged?
Yeah, I'm in a dark place.
Yeah, sure.
With the physical journey, there's a sort of spiritual and a psychological journey as well. And I look back now, I'm almost embarrassed about how low I got, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
This sounds ridiculous,
no.
but I was suicidal.
Yeah.
Because I'm not bigging it up, but I was really outward bound, fitness, all of that, and I couldn't do anything, and I was in pain every day, and I had senior team meetings at work where I was actually lying on the floor.
Yeah, and I think you collapsed at work, hadn't you? And you've been taken to the hospital.
Yeah. No, I wasn't at all. That was just So yeah, all of that, and it was, and I just couldn't do anything. I was coming home, I was having to leave work early. I had one point where my formidable PA, she picked me up, put me in the car and drove me home, and it's just, I had no life, no quality of life. So. And did you see a way out of that at the time? No. And that's what was making you feel so low? Yeah. I didn't see any way out of it at all. I thought, this is what I am, this is what I'm going to become, I'm going to be disabled, I'm going to have really, limited quality of life. It was grim. So, when you came in and I looked at you and you were really tense, and you've done heaps and heaps of exercise to try and tense you up, core work, working on your back and your stomach muscles, and I was like going, don't do it. I know it was hard for you because it was this massive conflict for you, wasn't it? Because you'd like invested yourself into doing all this stuff, and here I am saying, don't do that. And it was tough. It was a tough process for you. What's it feel like to sit like that? You're not that comfortable, are you? Well, you look a bit awkward. Like if you bring your feet forward. I just think when I'm in a little while, I think I'm going to be struggling. Do you? Yeah. Do you know that, or do you think that? I just think that. When did you last do that? About 4 months ago. Yeah, before you hurt your back. Yeah. But without the tense in the core muscles bit. You do that for me. or how I used to do.
No, just do it again, but without tensing the core muscles bit.
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, it's easier.
It's easier.
What you were saying was just breaking the paradigm, because everybody knows when you get your damage your back, you build up your core stability.
So you tell me what's better for you.
Well, there is this. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's that way.
Right. I'm not trying to tell you, I want you to tell me.
No, I am.
This is kind of conflict in your brain, isn't it?
There is, yeah, there is.
Messing with your head. So what was the tipping point for you? Like, at which point did you...
I think you gave me an approach which I began to see was working for me. You gave me a strategy, you gave me techniques to control the pain and to manage it rather than have it dictate to me what I could do.
So it was a matter of you having control rather than the pain controlling you.
Yeah.
But that was like a tussle for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a really big thing. It's a mindset. You know, when I first came here and you were getting me to bend and to belly breathe, and that all seemed very strange because that seemed sort of counterintuitive, if you like.
That's tense. That sure was. Okay, that's better. Keep it soft. Keep it soft. Let your head go. Keep it soft. Keep it soft. Come on. Keep it soft. Do you reckon?
I kind of think that.
Okay, that's good. Let your head go down. Right down. And up. And again. Keep it relaxed. Let your head go. And up you come. What's that like?
No problem.
Okay, do it again then.
You begin to calm down, I suppose, and just coldly analyse what is it I've got. I can't, and to do things and say, actually do it, that didn't hurt, because I was so tense going into some movements, so tense. I used to get to work 10 minutes before I had to, so I could get out the car. It's just nonsense, but it's all a mindset.
We use this really common example of like you strain your wrist, the last thing you want to do is walk around with a clenched fist. If you've strained your wrist, that's a ridiculous idea to do. But but to relax your wrist and move it, it would feel really good, wouldn't it? But to walk around and clenching it would not be a smart idea at all. And there's a common belief around backs that a strong core is a better back. But what can end up happening is your abnormally tense muscles, all it does is makes you more tense. So it's like walking around with a clenched fist going, that's good for your wrist. And you're going, well, that doesn't make sense. And then we look at people with pain and we compare the way they move with people without pain. And what we see is, in fact, they're much more tense. And so making something that's already tense more tense doesn't really make sense, does it?
No. It was December 2011 it happened, so it's taken me from then till about November, December last year to actually take on board the fact that, look, rationally, your body has healed, rationally you can be in control of this, and then you get into this zone where you say, look, I'm going to manage my own destiny, and I do start to go and do swimming and cycling, and you just build up the confidence. And
so what would you say to someone else who was in your situation?
Two things I would say. One is don't catastrophize it.
Yeah.
Because actually, as my wife said to me, and I think she's right, she said, look, if you just got up and got on with it and said, I've hurt myself, a heavy tackle, and not had an MRI scan and not started to dwell on it, I'm not saying I'd have bounced back.
Sure.
I think my path to health would have been maybe quicker.
Yeah.
And I'd have missed out all the psychological. That's one thing, and I've forgotten the question.
No. It was what advice would you give someone who was in that situation? So that's one great advice of not rushing off and getting scanned. And that's evidence-based. We know that MRI scanning for back pain, unless it's a serious injury, actually results in poor outcomes exactly for that reason.
So, and I think the other one is to try and keep it in perspective. Yeah, you've had an injury, but actually, you haven't been run over by a truck. You haven't, it's
Sure.
an injury, and your body
Yeah.
does regenerate. Your body does heal.
So it's trusting your body's resilience.
It's trusting your body. Yeah.
So what would you advise healthcare practitioners then, for someone like you who comes in having had an injury to the back?
Well, I think
Honestly.
what I would try to say, and I don't want to come across as, it sounds terribly patronising, I don't mean it to at all, but to be open-minded, and I think a couple of the physios I saw early on, no, it was all about core strength, and even when I said, look mate, I'm not sure this is working for me, no, it is working for you, you're not working for it. And I was like, oh yeah, it must be me, because it invariably is. But so I think it's the open-minded, it is trying different approaches, and I think, as I said before, it may seem counterintuitive to try and get someone to belly breathe and to loosen up around the core, but that's what worked for me. And also I would say, and again, you guys probably know this, but there is an enormous psychological journey going on with that individual. It might be in your surgery for half an hour, and might, I suppose, my father was a doctor, and you get patients in after a while, you might get, I'm not saying you do, you might get a big blasé, it's another patient, I've seen this, I know what it is, boom, 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 it's sorted. But actually that person may well be carrying an enormous baggage, and so what I got from you, what I've had from James, and to be fair, from the other guys as well, is, when I'm down, I can just text them or email, and people just go on that extra mile, and you just suddenly think, actually, do you know what, there are people out there who care enough to just take the time to say, look mate, just do this, it'll be fine.
Thank you so much for coming in.
But thank you.
And I know it's really coming in just to tell your story. It's not like we can offer you anything.
Well, you offer me, I would give you a big hug to say thanks. But very well.
Come on, behind the curtains. Good on you. Fantastic.